because I feel like over the years you've needed things from me and I've just done them. I didn't really have a voice and I didn't really express a voice. I just thought, well, okay, that's the way it's going to be. I'll just do it and I'll just go ahead and whatever you say. And I look back on there's a lot of times where I was so frustrated, but I didn't really speak, and it ends up being something that I'm angry about now because I didn't stand up for myself then. It's like everything's been building up and it's just so frustrating, so I moved to argue. To me, it's very confrontational. I don't like confrontation at all. I need to learn how to speak.
Hey guys, it's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are having a good day. It's Wednesday, September 1st. Yay! Nothing better than to start a Wednesday or middle afternoon Wednesday. I am so sorry, you guys. I have had so many appointments this week. But listen, we got some super good news yesterday because TLC dropped their fall lineup, and there was a humongous surprise on the lineup in the fall, which included the favorite four wives and Kody's perm. Yes, that's right. Sister Wives is coming back, and it's coming back on November 21st. That's right. I was not expecting this at all. Now, if you remember, last season ended super abruptly. Like, there was only 11 or 12 episodes. And it made me wonder if they were going to try to split this episode or these seasons into two and do more than one season this year. And that's exactly what they're doing, because their first season, or this last season, debuted in February, right? So we're 9 months out from their last debut. It debuted on Valentine's Day, if you remember. And this season's going to debut on the 21st, right before Thanksgiving. And when we ended last season, things were in total disrepair. I mean, it was chaotic. You had all of them sitting at Coyote Pass, and Miss Christine was confronting all of her sister wives, and she said, I don't want to live here. I don't want to build on Coyote Pass. I want to move. Let's go back to Utah. And they were all like, no, definitely not moving to Utah. Mary was like, I'm not going back there. Robin was like, it's not safe there, even though we're no longer felons, it's not really safe there. And Kody's like, all of our lives are here and it's way more expensive there, even though that's really not true because Flagstaff is super expensive. So at the very end of that, Miss Christine had a massive meltdown. She started bawling and she said to Mary, like, I don't want to do this anymore. I know that you're happy in this life. I'm not. I don't want to have a life like you. And Mary's like, you just have to stick it out. Look at the mountains. Look at the mountains. And she was just like, you might be okay living the way that you're living, but I'm not. I can't do marriage with Kody anymore.
Mary, I can't do marriage with Kody anymore. I don't want to.
Just look at the mountain.
I don't want to do it anymore.
Don't talk about that. Then make it enough.
It's not.
Then make it. You don't get to give up like that.
But it's been a struggle the whole time. I'm tired of feeling like I don't matter. I'm tired of not having his support when I really need it. I'm just tired. I need a partnership. I need something different than this.
Anymore. And then she basically, in her interview, said the same, that she was done. Okay? Some of you guys thought it was totally fake. Now, I thought maybe this could have a ring of truth, only because in the fall of 2020, Christine's home was deeded from Kody to her. So he took his name off the deed of her house. He was off all of the mortgages. And she is the sole owner of the home as a single woman. So he gets off her house, which he owned with her, which I thought was an interesting move. Then Isabel has recently moved out to North Carolina. And so all Christine has left in her house right now is feasibly or theoretically, I'm not sure if Gwendolyn is still there, is Gwendolyn and Truly. And I don't know if she wants to stay in Flagstaff for just the two kids. Truly is like in 5th or 6th grade, and it would be a great time for her to move. And then Christine put her house on the market, which again, makes me believe there's something to the storyline. So check out what they say is going to be coming up and what is happening on the season. So it says Kody talks to each of his wives about Christine's desire to move to Utah and gets a resounding no from each of them. So after the whole blow up and she walking out, Kody tries to go in, mend fences, and get an idea, and all single one of the women say no to him. So then he then apparently says, and he goes to Christine, and it says when he tries to talk Christine out of it, he can't even have a conversation. She can't even have a conversation with him, and walks out in tears. So Kody, after talking to the wives, after they say we're not going to do this, and then he has to relay that to Christine, she can't even speak to him about it, walks off and cries. Again, not a good sign for the future of their family, especially with Christine feeling like she has no voice in the family, that her wants, needs, desires are actually a factor in the family, that Kody doesn't make her a priority or her kids a priority. She doesn't want to make her children not a priority. She said she wasn't going to do that anymore.
I appreciate everything Mary's saying. I do. She's lived through a lot. But her relationship with Kody certainly isn't one that I would want. And the relationship that I have with Kody isn't what I would want either. What I have here is not what I want right now.
And then apparently COVID ends up causing a huge rift in the family too. So it says a difference of opinions about COVID protocols creates tension between Janelle's family and Kody and Robin. We saw that Janelle did not want to follow the same strict guidelines as Kody and Robin. And isn't it weird how they call it Kody and Robin? Like the Kody and Robin are the only, Janelle's family and Kody and Robin. Isn't that weird? Janelle's family and Kody and Robin. Is anyone catching on to this? Like Kody and Robin are the only couple here. And they say, despite the fact that Mary has no romantic relationship with Kody, she seems to be doing better and managing the drama within the family well. Okay, weird. So, no relationship with Kody. We're totally fine. Everything's great. Don't worry. I'll navigate the drama in the family because I don't care. Who thinks that Mary secretly has a boyfriend or a husband that we don't know about, and she's just hiding him in a corner in that humongous house she's renting? I do. And it says, as the family prepares to start building on the property, oh, they're actually starting to build. Yeah, right. They're splitting apart at the seams over the upcoming holidays. So this would have been holidays of 2020, because remember, we're always so far behind the timelines. We're so far behind the timeline. It says both Janelle and Christine's family refuse to follow Kody's COVID rules. Why does it surprise me that some of these fundamentalists will not follow the COVID guidelines? Filming has to be kind of tricky because of COVID and then all of the families intermingling, and Robin being very concerned about her son's lungs because he had RSV as a kid, and I don't even know. He has asthma, I think. Yeah, asthma and RSV as a kid. And then she has a history of pneumonia. And it says, is the family not getting back together even for the holidays? So remember how Christine said that she wasn't going to just sit around and wait for Kody to come to her if he was never going to be there to begin with, and if he was going to make her do all of these things so that he could come every couple days or once a week or once every month, that she just wasn't going to go down and she wasn't going to do that. And that was kind of how Janelle felt. Like, I'm not going to just like stop my life and stop what I'm doing just because you have these weird rules about me staying home all the time. And to an extent, they do have to go out and do things. They have to go grocery shopping. They have kids in school. You know, not all schools were virtual the whole year. Some schools did go back to school, and a lot of kids sent their parents back to school last year. And I believe the Brown kids went back to school last year. So it just seems like there was a difference of opinion on how to handle it. I would have been with Robin on this specific situation, but I also can understand people that don't have someone with fragile health. I do this because we have a son with fragile health. Anyways, it says, with tensions boiling over, more than one wife is now questioning their future. Whew. So more than one wife is questioning their future. Do you think that Janelle is questioning their future? I don't think Janelle's questioning her future. Janelle is living on Coyote Pass right now. She's literally bought her RV and she is stationed on the property because she is so dedicated to building. I think Mary might be questioning because Mary has been posting a lot of things on her Instagram and on her social medias lately about letting go of abusive relationships, moving on, setting boundaries, not dealing with crap anymore. And she's talked a lot about surviving abusive relationships. So I think Mary, in a way, might be waking up. But I also still firmly believe that there is something seriously going on with Christine because there's no feasible reason for one, Kody takes his name off the property. Christine's selling the property. There's no places to rent in Flagstaff. She already had a hard enough time finding a place to buy, and she specifically bought because of her animals and having issues with finding rentals that would allow animals, as well as other specific issues she had where renting would not be good for her and that buying was the only option. Why would she, in that situation, then sell her house for no good reason other than to leave for Utah? I don't think that it's made up between Kody and Christine falling out. I'm just so eager to see how this plays out. And a lot of you always say that there is so much fakery on this show, but I do think there's a level of truth weaved into everything. So we don't see everything that happens, right? We don't see their faith. We don't see all of the intricate fights. We don't see all of the drama. But I do think that there's some things you can't fake. And so if someone is so deeply torn about staying with him, I don't believe you can fake that. I also don't think you would take real life steps like having him remove his name from your house and then putting your house on the market. Those to me are huge signs that Christine has done, but I could be wrong. So are you as excited as I am for the new season of Sister Wives? And who do you think the other wife is? Do you think it's Mary, like I said, or are you going to throw it out that it might be Janelle? And what do you think about how this whole idea about Kody and Robin, like how everyone's wife is talking about in context of Kody and Robin? Like there's nothing specifically about Robin in that whole synopsis individually of Kody. Is that weird to you? Is that odd to you? It's odd to me. It makes me feel like Kody and Robin are actually the only couple. All right, you guys, tell me what your thoughts are in the comments below. Bye, guys.